3, 2, 1. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Razor from RazorTube coming at you with another Rust Council Edition Best Compact Solo Bunker Base design for 2021, and it's called the Pickaxe. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys drop the subs and likes. We're going to get to the build, and this is primarily targeting our solo audience. So you could fit a duo in here, but I don't think it would work too well. Anyways, I just made this base design just for the solo players that are getting wiped by the Zergs or groups of people in the beginning of each wipe on the Rust Council Edition for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series X, along with the Xbox One X and all the other OG consoles out there. So let's get to the base build, and I'll show you how my pickaxe is outfitted in the end. All right. So when you start off, you're going to go ahead and put down a triangle foundation with the point facing away from you. Put that down, make that stone. And before I get onto the build, make sure you put a box inside of a bush, put a wood lock on it, and a sleeping bag next to it. Or you could use a stash, but I recommend just using a box because you could fit a little bit more resources in there. Anyways, back to the build. You put your triangle foundation with the point facing away from you down, make that stone. Then you put two square foundations behind it, make those stone. And then at the back of the last square on the left hand side, you're going to go ahead and put down a triangle foundation, make that stone, put two solid walls on the left and the right, and then a triangle ceiling, and then make those stone, put your TC down with wood lock and your resources in it. Now, that being said, if you guys have the blueprint, you can use the reinforced glass window frame to seal off your TC, or you can use the double doorway frames in it. So anyways, let's finish the build. All right, now that you got that down, actually I'm gonna show you an overhead of what this looks like. Go ahead and take that in. All right, we'll finish the rest of the base. All right, once you got this down, you're gonna go ahead and put your walls. Go ahead and make those all stone and leave the front triangle foundation empty with nothing around it. Now that you got that stoned off, go ahead and put your ceiling down. You use a square ceiling right here. This will be the beginning of your first loot room. Once that happens, go ahead and put a half wall, then a square ceiling tile. Break the half wall, put the square ceiling tile, make it stone. Once that happens, you can go ahead and put a double doorway frame in, and then put your first set of double doorways in. And it's made out of sheet metal, of course, or you could use wood as well if you don't got the metal frags. Lock it with a wood lock, you're good to go. And that'll be your first loot room. Now, to make the entrance of this stability bunker, what you need to do on this triangle foundation is on the front left and right, you're gonna put two triangle foundations that are raised. Make those stone. After that, use a half wall, and then a triangle foundation, or ceiling tile rather. Make that stone. Now you should have something that looks like this. Once you got that down, you can go ahead and start the rest of your base, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, so you're going to jump on top of your base and use half walls. So you're going to put them on the full wall you got down low. Just like this. And all around the top of your base. Now that you got that done, go ahead and stone those. Now, we're going to create your airlock. This is what you need to do. Get some single doorway frames, put them in. And then in the front, put double doorway frames in for your shop fronts. And go ahead and make that all stone. So at this point, you're kind of vulnerable still in the beginning of a wipe, but you can keep your loot inside. Now you put your shop fronts in, and then fill in your ceiling tiles. And make those stone as well. And then you can put your doors in. Now always have your doors open inward. Only because if you do get downed in your airlock, you want to be able to spawn in and shut your door. Now, when you can configure your doors the right way, you can have one open inward and the other one outward, creating a airlock to where people can't get in. All right, once you got this done, this is pretty much what it's gonna look like. I'm gonna get down low. And above your TC in your first loot room, you're gonna have like a hidden loot room, and I'll show you how to finish that. All right, so now what we're gonna be doing is basically filling in the gaps. We need to, you're gonna need a ladder hatch frame BP for this certain base build, so just to let you know ahead of time, that's what you're in for. In order to gain access to up top and finish it, you are gonna have to go in your first loot room under the shelf and then choose a slanted roof. Once you get that, you can make that stone, and that acts as a set of stairs to gain access to the top. Once you do have access to the top, you're going to go ahead and put a square ceiling tile and a triangle ceiling tile, make those stones, and then you can fill in the full walls that you need up here. So fill in the triangle portion on the left and right, and here and here. Go ahead and stone that out. And then you're going to make access to your roof. So in order to do this, you can choose one of two ways. You're going to get a double doorway frame and put it on the front of your base on both sides, make those stones, and then one more on the slant on the left and right. All right, once you got that done, you're going to go ahead and put in some solid walls here and here, and then install your double sheet metal doors. Make sure your doors are opening inside, not to the outside, and you can also put turrets in these gaps here, so when people are door camping you or coming towards your base, if you are a duo, you can obviously open this up and the turret will take care of them and you can loot them. All right, that being said, let's put our locks on. And once you got that done, you can go ahead and put in your ceiling tiles. Now this base is expandable. You can do it however you want. I'm just giving you the blueprint, and you do the rest. All right, we're gonna shut the doors, and then behind us, we're gonna go back to this area above our TC room. We're gonna put one double doorway frame here, another one here, and then you're gonna put a floor frame. This floor frame is gonna be for the ladder hatch, and go ahead and harden all that. All right, once you've done that, you can install your doors. And then put in your ceiling tiles. Now that you've gotten nice and sealed up after you've installed everything, you can definitely outfit the base how you want. Now the thing that we're leaving out right now is putting in our ladder hatch, and how you do that is you want the ladder hatch at the top of the ramp facing you. So the way that'll work is you can just jump to the other side and put it down like that. Once you do so, put a lock, and now that opens up, so when you do break your bunker stairs, you have access to getting up to the second floor. Now I'll go ahead and break this and show you. And this is what it should look like. Now for the loot room that's above the TC room and your very first loot room, you'll have some furnaces installed here, so you can jump up top there. You can, I think, hold about 3 large boxes and 2 small boxes, but I'll show you how I have my pickaxe outfitted. That way you can either mimic that or come up with your own way to store things. And with that being said, also for Honeycomb with this base, you will realize that when you have your slanted roof in, the sides of it will protrude through the wall. And what I mean by that is, I'll show you a good example, is when you have the roof installed for your bunker base, if you want to put Honeycomb on, it's going to be difficult if you have that wall or roof rather installed. See how it protrudes to the wall? So what you need to do for that is basically delete it, right? Or get rid of it, and then you can put your Honeycomb on the side. Now, do remember, when you do leave that open, it's going to leave your base kind of vulnerable. So if somebody does decide to raid you quickly, they'll, you know, be able to have access to your TC route. Now, with that being said, all right, let's go to my base. I'll show you how it's outfitted. And then one thing before I move over to there, with any stability bunker, what you want to do is for the entrance, this triangle here, when you get metal frags, make sure that that's metal. And the 2 raised triangle foundations, make sure that's metal. That way, when people get in through your first doorways, they can't use a jackhammer or a pickaxe to soft side that foundation. And eventually move to high quality when you want. All right, with that being said, we're gonna go to my base and I'll show you how it's exactly outfitted, and enjoy. All right, so we got the standard typical airlock with the shop fronts to protect you from door campers. The bottom here, I have 3 furnaces. In my first loot room, how I have it set up is 2 large boxes at the bottom. You could fit 3 small boxes in here if you put the TC closest to the window on the left, but you don't need to necessarily. A lot of loot storage. And then for the top, what I have is 2 large boxes behind here, and then 2 small boxes and a barbecue grill. The reason why I put this box closest to the window is kind of to disguise the TC opening to the window. Now, with that being said, let's move to the top, and I'll show you how I've done that as well. Also, with the hidden loot room, you can put a half wall in front of it. A little perk to that is once you put the half wall on there and you harden it to stone, you would soft side pick it, make sure that the hard side's facing the inside of that loot room, and what you could do is just pick it out and then have access to your loot. And it provides an extra layer for people who do top-down raids. Now, with any base, I always say make sure to make your first floor's ceilings metal as well. So just like this, so nobody can blow through the top and get in. So back to the base. Once you come up the ladder, you come in, and I have a repair bench with 2 small boxes along with a research table and a large box underneath. That's for utilizing the space more for storage, and 1 small box on the left. Now I have this room cordoned off by itself, and this is for your workbench 1 or 2. Those will fit nice and snug inside of here, because we all know now in the Rust Council Edition with workbenches, you can pick them up. So you do not want somebody to raid through your TC wall and then all of a sudden have access to be able to pick this up because you grinded so much scrap for it. So with that being said, this is all by itself, and it just gives the raiders an extra door to have to go through. Now, this base is really hard to raid in the sense of it has many doorways and walls and obstacles in the way of any raider that tries to come in, but that's how I have my pickaxe outfitted. Now, you don't have to do things this way, but I like it. So to just give you an idea of storage and protection, you do have this pancake layer through there, and they have to blow through essentially 3 ceilings just to get to your main loot room. And same goes for here, since you have a ladder hatch, and you'll have this ramp going up from the bunker entrance. So either way, they have to go through 3 layers of something in order to get in the base. But this is an example of the loot room up top. I put 3 large boxes and 4 small boxes. All right, so if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys drop those subs and likes. I'm just going to get outside and show you the honeycomb and the important spots to hit before you actually get off the video. And I put, just to start off, when you're trying to run cheap, I put a couple triangle foundations around my TC, and basically that'll serve as my honeycomb in the beginning of a wipe. But you can put triangle foundations and square foundations around the entire base to reinforce all of your walls and make sure that raiders have an absolute hard time trying to get in your base. With that being said, it takes about 5,000 wood, 5,000 stone just to get the starting bottom piece of this done. The upkeep to this certain base, when you start putting metal items and everything that you have seen in my base so far is 597 metal, 1,275 stone. That's pretty good upkeep for any solo or duo in the beginning of any wipe, and this base offers a very cheap build for the Rust Council Edition. Anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys visiting the channel. Make sure you drop that sub and like, and as always, I'll be coming out with more base builds in the future. And this is the pickaxe for the Rust Council Edition, and it's a compact solo bunker base design for 2021. Hi.